Hey guys, what's up? It's Angelina and welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to do a speed reviews video. I wanted to film with my tree in the background because it is, we're getting on towards the end of holiday season and I just really wanted to use this as my backdrop. So I recently hauled a bunch of Natasha Denona palettes, which I was late to the Natasha Denona train, like I will admit. It definitely took me a while to get there, but I will say I do really like the palettes. I have quite a bit of them. I gave my cats new toys for Christmas, so they're playing. But the first palette that I want to talk about is the bronze palette, and I feel like this palette is so nice if you like warm tones. I was using this a lot in the fall months because in the fall I just really enjoy warmer tones. I think it's really flattering on me. And then I also got really into the I Need a Nude palette, and I'm not gonna lie to you, when it comes to the I Need a Nude palette, I just feel like there's only a certain amount of looks that you can do, and it's not a ton. And I feel like due to that, I just don't reach for the I Need a Nude a lot. But as you guys can see in the try-on, I really do enjoy a good taupey kind of eye look, and I just really wanted to show you the way that that looks. I think it's really flattering on me. I just love a good taupey eye look. I was trying the Sephora Micro Smooth Powder, which I hauled during the Sephora sale, and I can say that I did really like it. It definitely was good at giving me some coverage while also setting the face. However, I did actually pass this one along to my sister because she really enjoyed it more than I did. So I think if you're into setting powders that are not super heavy but will give you a little bit of coverage, then definitely check this out. I think it's a really good affordable option, especially because you guys know Sephora collection tends to be cheaper and a lot of the items that are carried at Sephora are on the pricier side. But overall, this was a pretty good setting powder. It just wasn't my favorite. Okay, getting into my REFY or REFY primer. I don't know how to say it. Honestly, you guys, I really like this. I think this is something that I just didn't expect to like so much because, I definitely thought that it was going to be a little gimmicky. And don't get me wrong, I think the component is a tad gimmicky, but overall I love the finish of this. I think it gives the perfect amount of hydration to the face, especially if you are going to go in with makeup. It doesn't overly hydrate the face to the point where the makeup's gonna like be sliding around or anything, but it's like perfect makeup prep. And I'm not gonna lie, even on days when I'm not wearing makeup, I will just go ahead and put this all over the face. It does include niacinamide, which my skin tends to love because I am acne prone, and I just really love this primer. I honestly don't mind the applicator. I actually really like it. I wanted to dive back into my Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter because I got really into the e.l.f. Halo Glow, which I love, and it definitely has stolen the show, but I forgot how much I really like the Charlotte Tilbury one. I will say this one has a translucent base and it's a lot less coverage than the e.l.f. version, but I kind of really like it for that because it does give a really nice natural looking illumination to the face, and I feel like the e.l.f. one is more so illuminating and it also gives you coverage. But there are definitely some days when you just kind of want the glow, you don't really want the coverage. I wanted to retry the NYX Bare With Me foundation, and I had tried this a couple times in the past and I just found it to be very heavy looking every single time. Now don't get me wrong, in general I don't really prefer a matte finish, but I wanted to really try to get into this. I have learned the key to using this product. You have to build in small layers, which you guys will see in the try on, and you need to make sure that your base is very well hydrated. Once you do that, I feel like it looks really good and it is a really nice soft matte finish, but overall I feel like I have other things in my collection that are easier to work with that require less effort. I will continue to use it, but it's not going to be a repurchase anytime soon. You guys probably can tell in these clips, I filmed them over the course of like maybe 2 or 3 months, but you can definitely see that my nails change in like every single clip. So I really wanted to, try a bunch of things and get my thoughts together for you because it has been a while since I've done a speed reviews, and I really want to get more into doing speed reviews in 2024, so that's going to be a goal of mine. From Too Faced, we have the Born This Way concealer. I mean, I have a lot of thoughts on this. So I will say I prefer this concealer for spot concealing, but I find that every single time I use it under the eyes, while it looks great upon initial application, it definitely, for some reason, always separates under the eye and really sinks into my fine lines under here. It looks very heavy under my eyes, and you guys know when it comes to concealer, I don't go in with a ton of product. I usually just do 2 small dots and that's it. So I went ahead and I passed this one along to a friend because it just wasn't working for me, but it is very full coverage, like I said, and would be great for a spot concealer, but not for under the eyes in my opinion. Then we have my Dominique Cosmetics powder, which I've talked about so many times. Of course I love it. It's very smoothing and very affordable, but actually, spoiler alert, and you guys probably won't hear about this for the next couple videos, I actually found a powder that I like more than the Dominique Cosmetics one. So you guys will be hearing about that very soon, but like I said, this is a great affordable option and mine is almost finished. Probably going to be in my best of 2023 just because the powder that I like now is newer to me, so I might include it, but I just feel like it won't be fair because I was raving about the Dominique Cosmetics one literally all year. Then we have the Kosas Cloud Set powder. Honestly, probably my most favorite pressed setting powder. I just love the fact that this does provide a bit of color, a bit of coverage, but it is extremely blurring and it has clean ingredients, so it tends to work really well on me. I'm actually wearing it today. I went ahead and I set my face today with it. It's going to be a powder that's going to be hard to beat in my collection because I just am very picky, especially when it comes to pressed powder. I'm a little less picky when it comes to loose powder, but pressed powder is hard to come by. Then I got back into my MAC blushes, and I have 2 different shades, so I'll go ahead and put those ones on the screen. But I actually have 2 different ones that I got really into, and I will say the formulation of these, I do really like them because they are very buildable, so they're not extremely pigmented off the bat, which is good, especially if you are going for a more natural look. And then I have another shade that is newer to me, which you guys will see, and I really love using this shade. One of my cats is playing with all the gifts that I got him. Anyways, so the shade Warm Soul I really love as an everyday blush because it is very neutral and it's pretty warm, but I feel like it's very flattering on my skin tone. It is perfect for a no makeup day for me because, you know, usually on those days, even if I'm not wearing makeup, I do want some color on the cheeks and I want to add some dimension to the face, and I have really been loving that shade specifically for my no makeup days, and it's just really blown me out of the water because I didn't expect to like it as much as I do. Then we have the Lawless lipstick, and you guys know Lawless came out with Forget the Filler lip glosses, Forget the Filler lip mask. The whole Forget the Filler line I think has been such a huge thing this year, but I will say when it comes to the bullet lipstick, I'm just not a huge fan of it. A really comfortable formula. It's very buildable and it's very thin. When it comes to a lipstick, I just prefer a little bit more of a thicker kind of formulation. I can't describe it, but they're just nothing special to me. And I topped it with my Bare Minerals gloss, which I have been loving. This is the perfect shade, very comfortable, and I just love topping any of my lipsticks with it. I wanted to dive back into my Youthforia blush oils because I was such a fan of them in the beginning of 2023, and I've been trying a few different blush formulations, so I wanted to kind of get back into it. And when it comes to the blush oils, I will say I definitely prefer the original shade that I tried first, which was the one with the pink cap, which is in the shade Let's Go Party. I think that is my favorite shade. Original blush, the one that comes, you know, the pH changing one in the green packaging, I feel like the formulation of that is different. And I don't know if that's just me, but I find that the green one is a little bit more so of an oil, and I find that it just picks up the product underneath. Definitely use it on your lighter coverage days because, like I said, for some reason I find that that one just picks up the product underneath. But when it comes to the Let's Go Party shade, I have no issues at all. Then we have my NARS Orgasm palette. So if you've been watching my declutters, then you would kind of know my thoughts on this because I did in fact film a declutter right after filming this clip. And I will say, I just don't enjoy the formula of this. I find it to be very glittery, and I just found this to be extremely glittery and just not at all what I was going for. I feel like it ruined my makeup this day, especially because it was too glittery. Then I went ahead and I put the NARS Orgasm on top, which is also glittery, but not as bad. It just wasn't worth it. So I've been really into using this Huda Beauty lip liner as my everyday lip liner because I found that this is a very good My Lips But Better shade on me. I find it to be extremely close to my lip color, and I really like using it as a base for my nude lips. Then I have the Solawave, which, let me tell you, I'm usually not really into, you know, any kind of facial tools. I've definitely gotten more into facial tools at the end of this year, but usually I find them to be gimmicky and just not worthwhile. No, this video isn't sponsored, but let me tell you, I feel like it makes such a difference for me. It has LED lights which help to fight acne, hyperpigmentation, it helps with skin tightening and stuff like that. But one of my favorite features about this is that it heats up and it's actually warm, because I feel like a lot of things that are on the market are the opposite, like it's cold or it's like a ice roller that you put in the fridge, and I'm not gonna lie, I think the coldness of it makes me not use it, but when it comes to this one, it is hot. So it's honestly super relaxing to use on the face. I have multiple clips of me using this because I use this basically use this, I want to say, almost every single day. Whenever I'm having a migraine or I'm feeling a little anxious, I do pull this out because for some reason I find it to be extremely calming, and it really does help with my migraines for some reason. And it vibrates as well, so it vibrates, it's warm, it has the LED lights, and it's very easy to use. I do use this with skincare, but you can also use it without skincare, which I do tend to do sometimes as well. I highly recommend it. I also use it on my neck, on my chest, literally all over my chest to be honest, and also my face. It's amazing and it's a game changer and you need to try it. I do have a discount code, I'll go ahead and link it. I have been retrying my Dior Backstage Concealer. This is in the shade 30W, and I do really like this as an everyday concealer. I find it to be easy to work with and not finicky at all. It's the perfect amount of coverage for every day. Okay, so I actually had this thing from MAC. It is the MAC, I think it's like a face glaze, and as you guys can see, it's very bronze and really gold, which scared me because it didn't look like it would work on my skin tone. But let me tell you, this thing is so cool because once I actually started playing with it, I realized how much I liked it and how much I was missing out. So once you actually get it onto the skin, it does have a almost translucent base with a gold sheen. So it is really flattering on the skin, and I actually like to mix this in with my MAC strobe cream in the shade Gold Light. I find that mixing these together and then putting it on the skin just makes me look so hydrated and so healthy. I definitely do this on days when I'm not wearing any base products, like literally days when I do just concealer and eyebrows. Oh my god, this is so nice, and I just feel like it really changed the game for me because I almost decluttered this product, and I'm so happy I didn't because it actually works for me, and who would have thought? Then we have the Ciele Skin Tint. This is SPF 50. I have been reaching for this on the days when I'm running errands, and I also have been reaching for this if I'm gonna go like to a daytime hangout because I need the SPF, but I also need the coverage, and Ciele looks amazing no matter what. It is so natural looking and so radiant, and once you set it down, it looks basically perfect. I do have an entire video on this one in case you're interested. So I got back into using my Huda Beauty setting powder. I forgot what shade I have, but I'll link it. And I really do like this. I think this is a more heavy duty setting powder. So if you're trying to set the face and you want it to be locked in for a long amount of time, and you also want to add some coverage to it, I would recommend this powder. I got back into my Laura Mercier Matte Radiance powder. I really like this because it does set down the face, but it does provide radiance. So if you still want a really nice glow at the top of your cheekbone, but you don't want to have the texture that comes with that, I would definitely recommend this. This is definitely more of like a diffused highlighter, so it's a really good option for your no makeup days, or even days when you are wearing makeup but you just want a more subtle natural highlight. But don't get me wrong, this definitely packs a punch. If you go in and you build it up, it is so in your face. Of course, like I said, I'm trying to use up the products in my collection, so I dove back into my Lancome face palette, and I forgot how much I like this. This is such a good palette. It's such a good all-in-one palette, and I really do like the bronzer shade, so I'm hoping that in 2024, I can add this to my plan to pan, because I think it's a good product and it just needs to get more use in my collection. Then we have the YSL lipsticks, which these I believe are the lip shines, and initially I wasn't a huge fan of this, but let me tell you, this has to be one of the most hydrating lip formulas I have ever seen, and it is so thin, so easy to apply. It feels like a really nice, like, just sheer amount of gloss, and I like it because it's not super thick, and I also really like it because it builds really nicely, and you can build this up or shear it down, which I really like, and I would highly recommend trying this. Drybar was kind enough to actually send over this wand, and this is my first time having any tool that looks like this. As you guys can see, the barrel is like on the bigger side, and I have like nothing that looks like this. It's the Drybar color. It's like this really nice yellow, and I did my hair with it today, air dry my hair, and then the next day I usually do something with it. So this morning I went ahead and I used my little wrap from Drybar. Let me show you. So this is what my hair looks like using the little Drybar wand, and honestly I really like it. I like it because I feel like the waves are on the bigger side, which I feel like is more flattering, especially because my hair is kind of at this like medium, short medium length. I've been into it, and I find that like this specific barrel, I don't know if the plates are like coated or something like that, but I find that with this specific barrel, my hair is like less frizzy, and I'm like loving it because this is a little bit better than my natural hair. So definitely recommend this. I'll have it linked. Okay guys, that is it for my speed reviews. If you guys like this format of video, definitely let me know. I plan on filming more speed reviews in 2024. So if you're new here, don't forget to like this video and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.